In this pod, we'll look at the events leading up to and the aftermath of the Reichstag Fire. We'll also make you aware of the three main beliefs surrounding who was guilty of starting the fire. This will help you to make your own informed judgment about who was responsible.
On the 27th of February 1933, the Reichstag caught fire. The Reichstag was the German parliamentary building. When the police arrived, they found Marinus van der Lubbe, a Dutch communist, at the scene. They arrested him and charged him with starting the fire. Van der Lubbe confessed at his trial on the 23rd of November 1933. He said, "I can only repeat that I set fire to the Reichstag all by myself." He was found guilty of the crime and executed.
Van der Lubbe's presence at the fire is not disputed. However, many historians debate who really started the fire and why. Some agree that Van der Lubbe was the sole perpetrator. Others believe he was acting in conjunction with the communists as part of a revolutionary plot. Finally, some suggest that the Nazi Party started the fire and framed Van der Lubbe to present the communists as a threat and to ensure they achieved a majority in the 1933 election. There is evidence to support all three claims.
The argument that Van der Lubbe was solely responsible for the Reichstag fire is supported by his confession. He accepted full responsibility and had a past criminal record. The argument that he was supported by the Communist Party is backed up by evidence uncovered by the Nazi Party at Van der Lubbe's house. There they found more arson material and a map of government buildings.
There is also some evidence to suggest that the Nazi Party were the real instigators of the fire. Van der Lubbe previously claimed responsibility for a strike in a factory, despite the fact that he could not have had any leading involvement. Many ministers at the time were also suspicious. Martin Sommerfeld was the Minister of the Interior's press office at the time of the fire. In 1956, he wrote an article reflecting upon who he thought was responsible, saying, "From the night of the fire to this day, I have been convinced that the Reichstag was set on fire neither by the communists nor Hermann Göring, but that the fire was the pièce de résistance of Dr. Goebbels' election campaign."
In order to make an informed judgment about the real culprit, it's important that you understand the events leading up to the fire, as well as the aftermath. In the weeks before the fire, Hitler was appointed Chancellor. He held a significant role in Germany, but it was not the total power he desired. He did not have a majority within the cabinet, and Hindenburg was still president. This meant that the president could use Article 48 to override his authority at any moment. To help secure his power, Hitler requested that Hindenburg called fresh elections on the 5th of March 1933. He was determined to secure his position and attain an absolute majority for the Nazi Party.
On the 4th of February, Hitler asked that Hindenburg pass a decree to ensure free and fair elections. Part of the decree required any political meeting to give at least 48 hours' notice to the police to allow suitable protection for the political party. In reality, this allowed the Nazi Party to know the location and number of political meetings. The police were also given the power to stop meetings that were deemed unsafe to the public. Hermann Göring, the Minister of the Interior, controlled the police force and was a Nazi Party member. He used the decree to the advantage of the party, telling the police to favour the Nazis and to treat communist meetings with severity.
On the 28th of February, the day after the Reichstag fire, President Hindenburg passed an emergency decree suspending all guarantees of liberty from the Weimar Constitution. This gave the police emergency powers to enter, search and seize property without trial. The police could also close down newspapers and radio stations. Within days, only the Nazis were allowed to campaign for the 5th of March elections. The Nazis were successful on the 5th of March, but did not attain a majority.